morning, everyone. Welcome to Jazz and Rock and Roll Horns. All you clever klezmer clarinetists, proficient procrastinators of practicing piano, or how about peerless piano practitioners? I like that one. Anyway, been working on a few of those. Today we're going to talk about melodic substitutes. This is session 35. Can't believe it. Melodic substitutes are when you have a limited number of notes, limited number of voices, like four horns, let's say, and you want to voice a 5-part chord, you want to imply 5 and 6 parts, you got to take out some notes. So the rule of thumb for melodic substitution is 9 for 1, 11 for 3, and 13 for 5, right there. Okay? So let's say we have 4 horns, okay? And let's say that our melody, let's say we have a C7 chord, and our melody is the 9th, and we have the flat 7, the 5th, and the 3rd right there, okay? Or if we had 5 voices and we wanted to voice in an octave, we would take this C out, because typically in a block voicing you might only have so many notes to work with, so we would put the D there. So in a let's say let me say it was C7 plus 11. So here's our plus 11, F sharp, our 9, our E flat, our 3rd, and then instead of our 3rd here, we would put the F sharp again. So here's the 11th, the 9th, the flat 7, the 5, and the plus 11 again. Okay? And then if we had a 13, let's say the melody note was A over this, so it was C. Well, it would read like this: C13 plus 11. That's what we would see now. So 11 for 5, right? So here's our plus 11. Here's our 9. Here's our flat 7. Here's our 13 again. Here's where the 5th would go, and we're not going to use it, okay? Or if we just had 4 horns, we just voice down just like that. And also, it's a really good, so that's basically it. It's not a big deal. It's a lot of times I like to use them in inner voices. So if I'm let's change key. If I'm doing a G7, and let's say I do let's see, 5 is in my melody, 3rd, okay, and F. So there's my 5th, my 3rd, my root, and my flat 7. What I would do is I would 9 for 1. I would take this G out and have it be an A instead. And that'll make your voicing sound more modern, more hip. As my old teacher used to say, less barbershop. So that's how you would do that. And so a lot of times, we did that all the time, constantly. You know, the bass player's got the 1, is replacing, 9 for 1. That was seemed to be the most common use of it, unless you got a big chord. So let's say you have a G13 chord, okay, and you've got your 13, your 11, your 9, your 7. So what you would do is you would have, or that's not a good example. Let's try a better example. Let's say that the melody is in the root, okay? So typically we'd go down like this, right? Okay. So there's a G triad. just a plain old G triad with 4 notes. How are we going to jazz that up? We could make this 5 there, and then we could go like that. So we would take these, the 5th out, replace it with the 13th. Here's the root. Take the 1 out, replace it with the 9th, right there. So now our voicing looks like this. Right there. That would be a kind of an interesting, it's an interesting shape for a, for it. But that's basically the idea. When your melody is, you're dealing with few horns, the takeaway here is if you're dealing with, you want to imply a big 6-part chord, but you only got 4 horns to work with, here's how you do it. And even if the melody note is one of the fundamentals, like the 3rd, the root, the 5th, or whatever, go down and try to change out some of your other notes. Change out your 3rd for the 11th. Change out your 5th for the 13th. Your root for the 9th, and those kind of things. And it works in any, whether it's a 2 minor flat 5, a 5 chord in minor. It all works the same. So don't forget, shoot me an email, fred@fredstickleymusic.com, and check out the new ebook with the video scores. A lot of people are liking the video scores. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. I take and analyze horn arrangements that you've probably heard. I copy them all out in a concert key with the chord changes. Everything is really understandable. We do a detailed study of each score. There's 8 pieces in volume 1. So check that out. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and until I see you again, have a good one.